Alright, and we are live here tonight on a Saturday, which is a big surprise, but we are here with RPM Esports F1 doing a league versus league race, the first league versus league race of RPM Esports. We are watching FFR against RPM. Track will be Brazil. The format will be the same as a league race, so we've got a short qualifying of 18 minutes and we've got a 50% race coming up. While we see a lot of cars coming out already, watching and looking for the first car of RPM who's going out, which will be RPM Colin. The drivers lining up for RPM here tonight are Colin, Boris, Cosmo, Barker, Jono, Brian, KFK, and we've got Luke, VDM, Westy and Deck. FFR will be driving with their drivers as Jeffrey, Sky Ripper, Fruit Giver, Keezerus, Just That, Hungary, Poorly Orange, Splits and Yaxel, which will be their drivers here for tonight as we watch RPM Colin coming over the line for the first lap of tonight. And look at that livery sliding over the track already. It's looking great. And welcome everybody joining us in the chat. We see Huss and we see Shack Attack joining us here already, supporting of course the RPM team here tonight on the track of Brazil. Colin looking very good on his first stint. Surprisingly enough took the soft tires, so there's definitely some strategy going on in the RPM party. He's getting a bit of a slipstream from a guy ahead. I hope this doesn't screw with his lap, and he's going in. So looking for the next car to come in then. And that will be one of the FFR team with Fruit Giver setting a 108.6. Barker coming over the line with a P2 on the mediums with a 108.9. And a Poorly Orange coming over the line with the medium tires as well, setting pole position time with a 108.1. Yaxel on a 109.1, so second behind his teammate, who's on the medium compound, so a harder compound, so he will not be happy with that time at the moment, I guess. You've got Deck on the mediums here, but we are looking for the next RPM lap to come over the line, and it will be Westy coming with a 108.3, joining on P6. Also on the medium tire, a lot of the RPM guys chose the medium tires, and RPM Boris is on P4. Well, Barker crashed out, and that's very, very unfortunate. Yeah, that's a tricky corner there. I think he just lost the back of the car for a moment. And yeah, lost the car and is out of the qualifying early on. But Yaxel coming over the last part of the track now. DRS is open, taking a bit of a wide line, and he will be going to P5. Luke VDM, last minute joiner, on P9 with the mediums. Westy still on P11 now, and Cazares takes pole position with a 107.8. RPM Cosmo here on his lap. He is currently holding P14 position with no time. Let's see what he can do to show off his pace here tonight. Parker already letting us know in the chat that he is disappointed with that moment. But no worries, mate. The race is long and anything can still happen. Cosmo going for P5 on the soft tire as well. KFK or Brian will be going on P4 on the medium tire. So he is currently leading the pole position for the team of RPM. Well, Jono gets out of the pit as well. So is Colin on a lap. Let's see what he's gonna do. But I think one of our opponents is ahead of him, which will be Hungary. And he's going purple there. He's on a soft compound though, so that's no surprise to go faster than a medium tire. But what will his lap time be? Let's see here. DRS is open. And he goes for pole position with a 107.5. And let's see now. We switch back to RPM Colin on the medium tires. Going purple as well. Is Colin gonna get a great lap in here? After a soft stint. He might have done the soft stint just to feel the track a bit. And then gone for the mediums. And it's P2 for Colin with a 107.6. And that is the highest place so far for the RPM team. Splitting up the front row here tonight with Colin on P2. Jono then, he's on the softer compound. See what he's gonna do. As he's coming out into sector 2. Almost out of it. Halfway through. Going purple as well. We've seen that 3 times now. Let's see what his time going to be. Jono, one of our low gear division drivers, currently holding the championship title. And he's going to go for a 107.5. And that's Jono on P2 with 2 purple sectors. And now RPM has the front row positions lined up good. And Colin got set back as one of the FFR boys just took the P3 position. Well, I need to switch headsets for a moment real quick. So we're gonna look for an RPM car on track. It's gonna be RPM Boris on a lap, and we'll see him doing his lap right now. Alright, and sorry for the quick interruption there. Well, we see RPM Boris going for P3 there on the soft tires with a 107.6, and that's really close behind the 2 front row drivers. And we can now, oh, and Paulie Orange going even faster, going 107.1. And that's the first row of the grid now lined up for FFR. Well, one of the other drivers goes purple as well. Let's see how he's doing in purple, how he's doing in sector 2 here. Teammate making nice little room for his teammate here, and so does one of the RPM boys. Making all the space for the cars coming up, which is of course very important. He's got purple in sector 2 as well. Are we gonna see a 106 then finally? Or is it still out of sight? And we're gonna see a 106.7, and it's a pole position for FFR at the moment. And they got 3 cars on the first 3 starting positions. Well, Boris invalidated his other lap. KFK, oh well, Brian going for P3 now, splitting them up again. And the front row of the grid is just changing and changing every time. Colin then, 5 tenths up. Not happy about that lap and goes in. Only 7 minutes to go. He still has a lot of time to get that lap done. Westy, is he improving then? Going for a 108.1, jumping to P10. Then we're going to see Luke VDM. He is up on his time as well. 7 tenths off. What can he do for the team of RPM here? And he goes 108.1 as well, joining P10. Taking it from RPM Westy there. And now it's looking very, very clear that the RPM team is currently holding the best positions to start on. But then again, the front row is still for FFR. Marco joining us as well, saying, come on, team RPM, even Boris. He's even supporting Boris here tonight. It's not something we see very often. As we're gonna see Cosmo doing his lap. Is he gonna be a surprise out of the box here? Colin Cosmo showing a really good pace lately in the season. Definitely improved a lot of his driving and knows how to drive well. He's small up on his time, but not enough to make a big step towards the front row of the grid. But he's gonna continue this lap, so he might have found some speed on the exit. Oh, and there we go. He found 1/10, and that's joining him on P10. Deck then, just making his lap. Just starting his lap here. First DRS zone. While the car flies over the track. FFR having quite some cars on the track at the moment. Well, Deck invalidated his lap, which is a shame. But he can, of course, always do another one on this stint while the tires are nice and warm. Quickly looking for the drivers on the track. This is one of the drivers who chose the medium compounds again, Just Stead. We've got a yellow in sector 2. It's just someone giving space with one of the cars on track at the moment. I think it's going to be Colin. Yeah, and he's coming towards the line anytime soon. And it's going to be a 1:06.5 for Colin, improving with 1.1 second. And making a gap of 2 tenths towards P2. Colin now holding the pole position time. And let's hope some of his teammates can join him there as well. Well, one of the FFR boys spun around as well. Lost the car and is out of the qualifying as well. Currently holding the P8 position, but there's a lot of cars behind him. Still doing a lap. Fruit Giver going for 107, 108, and he is not improving big enough. Only 3 tenths up. Yaxel just started his lap. Let's see what he can do then. But one of the RPM boys is surely ahead, which is Jono. And we got Boris as well. And I think the other one will be Colin still. Yeah, there we go. Boris going purple in sector 2 as well. Let's see what he can do then. Can he join Colin on P2? No, he doesn't, but he goes P4. And that gives RPM a lot of drivers into the top 6 at the moment. And that's a nice position to hold. Jono went in. Jeffrey then. He is on the soft stint. Is he improving on his soft stint? Let's switch to Fruit Giver as well as he joins the line. But he was up on his time, but not enough in his opinion. Yaxel going for P14. Deck is on the out lap. So it will take some time for him to join. Oh, and we got Luke on the lap as well. He's still in sector 1. Let's see if he can improve one of his times. Currently holding a 1:08.123, which is an extremely nice time. Spritzy joining us as well, wishing all the guys best of luck. And also Spring joining us, wishing also RPM the best of luck in this race as well. Boris invalidated his lap. KFK O'Brien is now starting his lap. And Keiser is just in front of him. Is currently holding P2 position, but he slowed down in his lap, so he won't be setting another one. Colin again on the out lap. And Luke will be going for another one. Cosmo then up almost half a tenth in sector 1. Can he keep his improvement and maybe skip at least 1 or 2 places? Maybe jump to P7 and get more RPM guys in there. And listen to that engine roaring over the track in that red and silver livery. There we go, and he's still 1/10 up, which could be enough if he improves a lot in this final sector. Taking the best line there is, just touching the line there. And he goes P11, still 1:07.9, which is just not enough to take the P10 position. And not joining one of the RPM boys inside the big top 10. Colin is just minor up on his time. With a good final sector, he can still improve a bit of his time here. Let's see what he's gonna do. And he goes in, so he won't be setting another lap. And then this is our starting grid for tonight's League versus League race of RPM against FFR. Colin taking pole position. Kazarus just right behind there with 2/10 gap. Then we got 1/10 towards Paulie Orange on P3. Then Brian, Boris and Jono, all our team RPM coming at 4, 5 and 6. We got Hungary on P7. Deck on P8. Splix on P9. He unfortunately crashed out. Luke VDM on P10, so he will be the last car inside the top 10 and also on the soft tire compound. And I'm gonna continue the lineup when I see it again. There we go. We got Jeffrey on P11, Cosmo on P12, Josh Stead on P13, Wesley on P14, Fruit Giver on P15, Yaxel on P16, Barker unfortunately crashed out on the qualifying on P17, and we got Sky Ripper on P18. Didn't set a time. And Barker already saying that's 1-0 for RPM, and it is, because pole position will be 1 point for the team who takes it. And Spritzy saying Jono is flying, and he really is. RPM is flying here tonight. Check Attack just making a statement towards Colin with flames and hard eyes. So I think Check Attack fell in love once again. While we are waiting for the cars to get on the grid, then we're going to start the formation lap, and we'll be watching a league versus league race here tonight for RPM Esports against FFR. If you've got any predictions in the chat, please throw them in. We got quite a mixed grid form up. Barker, I know for a fact he could have done better. He hates it when I say Barker, by the way. It's Bakker. But I just love the way it sounds. Yeah, he's all the way at P17. Chose the medium tires. He could definitely be in the inside the top 5 if he was not crashed out. But unfortunately he did, and now he needs to work his way up. Colin then leading the formation lap, getting those tires warmed up, and look at those cars slingering around the track, getting those tires on temperature. Evil Master making sure Colin gets all the support he needs, but let's not forget there are quite some other guys of RPM here tonight as well, and we are supporting them all. Daniel actually predicting Barker will spin in the first round, and I know for a fact he won't be happy if he heard that at the moment. And let's not hope so. We can need all the points we can take in RPM. Of course, if you didn't subscribe or like the channel video or channel yet, please make sure you do to watch more of these league versus league races with Team RPM. Grid forming up again, and when the lights are on, we gonna race for 36 laps on Sao Paulo, Brazil. Josh Stead actually took the hard tires, I just noticed. It's an interesting choice. Let's see how it works out for him. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 lights on. When they are off, we are racing, which will be now. And it looks like a really good start there on P2. Colin, not the best of starts here. Going side by side through turn 1 already. Not getting enough space, and he just took the position back. Not giving up already. KFK already joining on P3. Making the overtake work on turn 2. Now, then we got Jono right behind it as well. Side by side battles in front of him here. And KFK Brian takes the position. Jono on the inside here, side by side towards the next corner. This is already going flaming, and Jono now taking the position. No, he gave it back, making the outside line. Oh no, Jono! And I think everybody just missed him. That was insanely lucky. Death could have caused a massive crash there, but well, luckily enough, Brian could avoid him, and so did poorly Orange. Jono lost his car there on the outside line towards the corner, and now needs to make a really good battle of it to get all those positions back. He got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting, which is an absolutely dumb decision. Looks like the grid is just one-on-one. We got RPM FFR all the way towards P11. We've got one car in the pit already. It's Fruit Giver. And let's look up those battles in the back. We can see quite some battles going on here. Everybody close up towards each other. And that's a lot of cars joining each other in one big train. Deck having the full heat here of Splix behind him. But he having a really good exit here. And keeps it close towards Hungary. Boris keeping it on P5. Paulie Orange on P4. And RPM holding 2 podium positions for the moment. Paulie Orange going for the attack on Brian. Brian defending. Taking the line here. And he does it amazing. DRS is now enabled. And now we're gonna have to see which car will have the best speed. Brian getting a really nice pace here. And we can see Boris under attack here with the DRS. And he lost the position. Now holding P6. Deck right behind him on P7. And it's going to be one big DRS train towards the next lap as well. Only the big gap is up front. Colin making a 1.6 second gap towards the P2 position. And it's a 1.3 second gap towards P4. Further down the grid, we got the gaps lining up already. Got Yaxel actually really close behind Cosmo, but Cosmo is 1.3 second behind Jeffrey. And Luke under the full pressure here since he is not in DRS. And he's gonna have one big attack coming up now. And we already got a yellow flag. And I'm wondering for who that... a blue flag, I'm sorry. I'm wondering for who that is, but I can't imagine who, to be honest. Luke VDM lost the position, but he is still looking good on P10. Oh, and Brian is in a big battle here, side by side still. Lost the position though. But he will definitely be attacking him again after the Sector 2, which will end up in Sector 3 with that big DRS zone. Of course, do not forget, strategies are so important in this game. And definitely when you're teaming up with such a big team here, everybody needs to work together to get all the points possible. He's having the DRS now, but he can't walk in towards him yet, so he needs to wait for the next zone. Let's see if we got some action in the back. We got Luke still under attack, and he took the position back for actually. So he's currently now holding P9 again, but he will be attacked again on this part of the track. Deck and Boris joining each other as well. They are close towards each other, but Boris has the DRS as well. So let's see which one of the RPM boys is gonna win this one. Oh, and Luke taking a 3-second time penalty there for multiple warnings, which will be track limits. And that's unfortunate for the RPM driver there. Barker really close behind Cosmo. Let's hope Cosmo... Oh, and Cazares is out of the race! There's our first DNF, and it's a full course safety car. Full course safety car, and let's see what the front row guys are now gonna do. Colin goes in. Paulie Orange, he is going in. KFK is going in. Hungary is going in. All the soft runners are going in here. And all the medium tire runners will be laughing now. Except for Jeffrey. He stays out on the soft tires. Yaxel goes in. Barker stays out, of course. He's on the medium tires. And so does Cosmo. Colin coming back on track on P4, which is a nice position to be in on those fresh medium tires. Westy staying out as well. And it's now going to be a big defending game. Helping each other out, getting the pace in. And making sure... Oh, and we got another DNF. We got another DNF, and that's 2 cars out for FFR. And that's unfortunate for Yexel because he just bid for new fresh medium tires. But I guess he lost it on the pit exit. Too much throttle and going out. Now inside the top 10 there's only 3 FFR cars. And the rest of them are all RPM drivers. Some of them are on fresh mediums. One of them is on fresh hards. Will be Deck. It's not showing pretty well on this cam, but now it is. Deck has chosen the hard tires, which will be interesting to see his pace on that one. We know Deck can be very surprising on a harder compound. So let's see if he can keep that one up. In the meantime, I missed a lot of people joining us in the chat, to be honest. We got Lau saying let's go RPM as well. Shack Attack shouting again. We got Hatchet joining us. Let's go Deck. Oh, and we got a spinner. I lost that for a moment, and it's Luke VDM. Luckily for him, it's a safety car, and he can rejoin easily. And we've got a blue flag right in the middle of the pack, which will be Sky Ripper. Let's hope Luke didn't overheat those tires too much. We got Marino Siege joining as well, saying let Boris win. Well, if Boris drives like he normally does in mid gear, he will definitely be a contender here to get a podium at least. What a race it's been so far. We've seen a lot of overtakes, we've seen a lot of moments, and we've got a full car safety car in lap 7. Colin keeping his tires warm, and so does the rest of the grid, making sure those medium tires are on temperature when the cars start racing again. Safety car goes in. We're gonna join Cosmo on the onboard camera and see when Jeffrey decides to go. He will definitely be talking this out with his teammates, saying when I say go, you guys go. And he goes earlier than expected. Oh, and he drops down again. And Cosmo is not getting fooled by it. He keeps it close, 3/10 the gap, and so does the rest of the RPM boys behind him. And it's looking really good now. Oh, Sky Ripper making all the room he needs to, as ghosting is on. But he got... Oh, and that's Boris off! Did he catch damage though? I didn't know. I don't know. I can't see any damage. But the Boris lost it there. And it's also Jono going side by side with someone there. And he's going to P12 now. Colin getting all the room from Barker and Cosmo to get the attack done again towards P1. Barker and Cosmo doing a great job here. Westy lost out on some positions. Oh, and I don't know what's happening here. Oh, Splik lost it. Splik lost it. He's off the track. Oh, that's a dangerous rejoin. Is he allowed to take those positions back? I don't think so. And he is allowed to give one position back, since he was completely off the track, and it's a full car safety car, I guess. I have no idea what's going on. The track is completely yellow, but it does seem... Oh, Barker made a big loss there as well, making Cosmo a really big target here. And the track is still yellow. I don't know why. Oh, and there's contact between Cosmo and Henry. Cosmo keeps it on the track though. There was some rear contact there, and I don't think anyone was to blame there. It was side by side towards a very, very dangerous part of the track. Very tricky to overtake it there on the, well, practically just almost touching. And that's a loss for FFR there. Now we got P10 all the way to P4 for RPM, and Colin holding P2 for RPM on the fresh medium tires with Jeffrey right in front of him. And I don't know why the track is still yellow, but I don't care because the race is still going and it's still... And the track is back to normal again. Colin on the ERS, DRS now enabled. Onto the second sector. Second DRS zone, excuse me. And Colin just right behind him there. Making the move now. And that's a clean overtake from... Oh, and he's not getting a lot of room there. That was some weaving there. That was definitely some move in the car there. And Colin lost out on it. He just takes it. He just takes it. He just says, no mate, that's my position. And he retook the position on a very, very clean way. The RPM boys having a big train here inside the top 10. Let's see if they can help each other out, get those points in. Only car outside of the top 10 for the moment at RPM is Luke. But he's looking really good towards Fruitgiver. Fruitgiver not having a DRS. And he can line the car up perfectly here for the second DRS zone. Fruitgiver does have a really good pace there on those old mediums though. And Luke not being able to get closer so far. Let's watch the penalties for a moment. We got John Stetworth still with the 5 second. We got Jono still with the 5 second. And also Luke with a 5 second. And we got a yellow flag on the straight in the pit lane. And that's another DNF for FFR. Retirement in the pit lane. And that's only 15 cars left. But still all the RPM drivers in the race and still looking good for really, really good points. Westy now under attack of Josh Stead here. Come on Westy, we know you can do the Daniel Ricciardo. Break that late mate, break that late. There's a reason I call you the Daniel Ricciardo of RPM. And there's the move going to Sticks. Let's switch to Westy, his POV. Is he gonna break late? No, he's not. He's just keeping it clean. Keeping it simple. And he's just extremely right. Keep that car behind him and just wait for the moment. It is your race. There's still a long way to go. And everybody of RPM is doing well so far. So far the two drivers inside the top 10 of FFR are doing a really good job as well. I don't know, Jeffrey definitely some weaving there on Colin, but Paulie Orange is doing a really good job. He's just doing a really consistent race. Didn't make a lot of mistakes and they're holding the P2 position for now. Let's hope that will change into a red color anytime soon. Oh, we got the RPM train just right here. And we got some pit stop strategies coming up. We got Barker, Cosmo, and also Jono. Looking for a pit stop at the moment. Barker, oh, and I don't know what happened there, but Barker lost out. And I think he just gave the positions. Or he spun for a moment. I don't know what happened to Barker when he lost all those positions, but I know his strategy is playing in anytime soon. So let's see what he decides to do. He's on 12th lap on mediums at the moment. Oh, and it's a spun for Luke. That's a nice clean rejoin, but unfortunate for him. Still holding P14 though, not at the back, and didn't get lapped. Of course, he doesn't need to be worried about Sky Ripper there. Westy then for the move. No, Westy not deciding to make the late break there. And he's absolutely right once again. Just knowing his time will come. Both cars on almost the same age of tires. Only 2 laps difference. But so far, in the middle of the pack, it's all RPM working well as a team, keeping each other within a second and helping each other to get that second in. Keeping each other on the DRS at least. Barker lost out a bit, of course, after that spin or just giving the positions. I don't know, I couldn't see well what happened there. Colin just cruising on P1, 2.4 second gap, and he knows he is in a relaxing position here. All he needs to do is take that line he took over and over again and get that car across the finishing line. We do have some penalties coming in for track limits. KFK just took one. And there we go. Spritzy already saying RPM is racing respectful and clean, and they are. And smart as well. Haas saying good job guys, keeping it all in DRS. And Jetfish saying looking good guys, and it really is looking good. Helping each other out. Jono going in, giving the DRS to Brian here. And now John. Oh, and Jono takes a 5 second again. And that will not work out, giving him a total of 10 seconds at the moment. Of course, he can redeem 5 seconds in the pit lane now, but then he will still have 5 seconds left. Barker moving his way up again towards the second behind Cosmo. Westy definitely struggling a bit on those tires, I think. Lost out on a bit of time, but still doing really well. Not taking the risk of pushing those tires to the limit. And we got another yellow flag, and it's Sky Ripper. No, it's not. I don't know who that was. It's Blix, and he is standing still on the track. And it's another safety car, and this is the moment. This is the moment for the medium runners. Barker goes into the pit lane. Deck goes into the pit lane. KFK is in as well. And Cosmo taking a 5 second for speeding in the pit lane, which is unfortunate. Westy going in. Luke already got... Oh, Luke will go in as well, I guess. Jono now making the right call. He will take so many places by making this decision of going in earlier than the rest of the grid. Oh, and I don't know what's happening here. I think he was thinking of giving the position to Barker, but he decided just to take it, and there's definitely some teamwork going on there. Safety car waiting for the leader. And I think it's safe to say that Colin got a free pit stop here, and he goes for it. And so does Barley Orange. Strategy's working out well so far for RPM. And strategy's working out for some of the guys of FFR as well. Oh, and there was a little moment there. But Colin is still ahead. He took the soft tires. That's an interesting move. Colin actually took the soft tires for with well, half of the race done. Gonna have at least 2 laps behind safety car, I guess. So interesting move there from Colin. Oh, fruit giver drive-through penalty speeding under safety car conditions. Yeah, that doesn't work out well. Westy's still in the pit. He went for the softs, but went in again for new softs. Again. Oh, I think he had wing damage. He had wing damage. Unfortunate for Westy here, but luckily for him as well, there is still a safety car going on. And there is still a lot of room to get those positions back. And he is on fresh soft tires. So let's see what they are gonna do. Barker is on softs as well, and so is Cosmo. The rest of the grid decided to go for the mediums. So interesting choices here. The grid is still behind each other for RPM, P4 till P9, and Colin leading the grid. And 12 and 13 are Luke and Westy, but they will be looking good on fresh tires and will be joining the grid anytime soon as well. Luke already coming up towards the corners where the grid is driving now. And of course Mirko knowing about the tires. And he will know for a fact that the softs can last, so let's hope they will. Knowing my driving, I wouldn't take the softs, but that's me. I would have spun already. So yeah, bad example. Bad example. The grid is lined up again, just waiting for Sky Ripper. Safety car not going in yet. I think it's safe to say the safety car can go in, but if they want to do another lap, why not? So one of the RPM boys in, and it's Boris is in. He will be going for softs. He will definitely be going for softs, and so is Luke. Interesting choices here for the RPM drivers. But then again, they will catch up again with the grid before the safety car goes in. Boris practically just ended up behind them. And Luke coming up now as well, so safe to say this is a good decision, clean decision. And well, now it's waiting for the safety cars. I wish I've done press room questions now. That would have helped out. Because, yeah, well, not a lot to talk about under a safety car. Safety car is in, and we're gonna watch Colin do the restart this lap. And let's join Poorly Orange on P2 and see when Colin decides to go. And of course this will be having a team moment as well. Colin saying, guys, go, go, go. And they will push the throttle down, and Colin making a late move there. Oh, and that's an interesting one, and almost 5/10 gap on the restart. KFK already going outside of Jeffrey here. Deck joining on the inside. Is it a double RPM move? It's not a double RPM move. And look at the restart of the RPM drivers. Look at the restart of the RPM drivers. It's an insane. Jeffrey is on the full heat of red cars flying around him. And Cosmo now going for P4. Jono right behind there. And all the RPM cars are just slamming on the pedal and making the throttle work. Definitely some team orders going on there. And FFR on the full pressure on the front of the grid. And also on the back of the grid, where Boris, Luke and Westy are all on fresh soft tires with a medium runners right in front of them. We can see Boris here right behind on the FFR car of Fruit Giver. John Stead right in front of there. And the gap between the cars of RPM and the FFR cars are just gonna extend every moment again. Barker just pushing the ERS, making the gap bigger. KFK lost out a bit on some moves, I guess. And is now driving on P7. Deck, go, Jono and Jeffrey had some moment there. There was contact going side by side, and I couldn't see for sure if there was anyone at fault. But yeah, there's definitely contact there, so that will be investigated by the RPM and FFR stewards afterwards. And it's a full course race now, with only 5 cars of FFR left, and still every car of RPM is in this race. Boris keeping it still close behind the car of John Stead. Not wanna make a stupid move anytime soon, just waiting for the DRS. And he's absolutely right, because John Stead doesn't have ERS, he's 1.5 seconds behind. And there he comes, the attack of RPM Boris on the FFR on P8. Inside line, late break, and he makes it move. RPM Boris now on P8. We got Luke coming for the attack as well. DRS is open. And can he make the move stick? He's on the softer tire, but he can't close in yet. And he doesn't want to make a risky move, and he's absolutely right once again. The RPM guys not making any mistakes here and just driving smart, just waiting, helping each other, holding each other up. Holding the FFR cars up and making sure everybody gets the DRS, and making sure all the drivers of RPM reach the maximum level of driving. Westy had a little moment somewhere, I guess, as he lost out on some time, but he's still looking good. No worries there. There's still a lot to redeem for RPM Westy. The gaps are starting to form now for a bit. Barker right behind Jono. Jono doesn't have DRS so far, and let's not see, hope we don't see any dumb moves here between teammates. And so far it's looking good. Barker not backing out just a bit and deciding to keep the car where he is now on P7. Luke in the meantime overtook Just Stead and is now holding P9. Well, the gaps are still working. There are still gaps getting bigger, but some of the cars of RPM are still close behind each other. Just yeah, just making a small DRS train, chilling a bit together. You know, like bit like Need for Speed, just going nicely in a train over the track, doing an awesome job here. Can Barker close in towards Jono now? He is closing in, but he doesn't want to make the move too bad, and yeah, I can see why. Why would you risk anything there? Unless you know you're that much faster for sure, and so far Jono is flying. Wesley is flying as well, getting closer and closer every lap towards P11. Brian on the medium tire still, right behind Cosmo. And yeah, now the gaps are starting to form massively. Boris right behind Barker though. Does he have the pace? It's Jono, Barker and Boris having a DRS train over and over again. Barker now taking the position over from Jono, knowing he has a fresher tire. Jono of course having a harder tire and can last longer so far. But yeah, this is just amazing teamwork, giving enough space and helping each other out to get as much points as possible. We do have some penalties for the RPM guys though. We got Cosmo on 5 seconds and Brian on 3 and Deck on 3 as well. Also Jono on 5 and Luke on 3. Luke is still safe though. And Luke also having a really good pace as he is extending that gap just a bit by bit. Cosmo having an awesome race, and he is really having a great race. Holding P5 for the moment. He's now getting overtaken by Barker. Barker now Bakker. Sorry, Bakker. Joining on P5 now, and the head of the design department will be Bakker. Oh, when I did hear some, just heard some like a car hitting a wall, but I can't see anything, so it should be good. Oh, wait a minute, it might have been Deck. Oh, not Deck, just giving the positions, maybe knowing he has a penalty. And Barker now holding P4, Cosmo on P6. And it does seem like Deck has having some troubles or something. I can't see any damage. But it does seem like Deck has some damage, and I think yeah, he does. He's going in as well. Unfortunate for him, he was doing a really good job. Really good job. Still on P10 though. See where he's gonna end up. I think he will come out. Yeah, he will definitely come out on P10 again. And still inside the top 10 then, of course. And doing an amazing job. Knowing Barker and Brian together. Oh, Barker, keep it, keep it! Oh, you lucky man there. You lucky man. That was some really Tokyo drifting through Brazil. definitely the soft tires are starting to wear out just a tiny bit. And that's of course logical, going for 10 laps in now. And but so far, yeah, Colin, his Halo text says it all, and it's game over for a lot of drivers of FFR for the moment. RPM doing an amazing job of working as a team, giving each other the space when needed, and holding big positions here. There goes Deck already for P10. DRS is open, soft tire is on, and he is going for the P10 position. Westy closing in towards 6.7 seconds now. Got 7 laps left to get that lap in. Meantime, Jeffrey is doing a good job on getting closer as well though. So Westy, do your defending, mate. Do your defending, you know you can do it. Doing a great job here from RPM Westy, defending that line and making sure there's no space on the outside or inside of his car. And now the DRS is coming up again. Westy having a ERS disadvantage. And yeah, there's no defending here. Oh no, there is Daniel Ricciardo work again. Daniel Ricciardo work again from RPM Westy, making the late break and keeping his position for at least 2 more corners. But now he lost out, and he did an amazing job on the defending there. And now he will just try to keep it close and get the position back whenever he can. Oh, and we got Boris overtaking Jono now as well. Barker still really close behind Brian, but he can't get close enough. Brian having a great pace on those older medium tires. And we've got only 6 laps to go. Oh, Cosmo went into the pit lane. And there goes Westy, yeah! And just on time, Westy managed to get it. Westy managed to get it. He's just playing switch. He's just playing switch with the Jeffrey of FFR. Oh, that's a dirty move. That's a dirty move. That's caught on stream. Yeah, that's definitely caught on stream. And that's definitely gonna be investigated. That's definitely gonna be investigated. Jeffrey just losing his DRS and just slamming the brake there after overtaking Westy. And now, yeah, of course, the gap is big because Westy needed to hit his brakes as well. But be smart, man, Westy. Be smart, my man, and yeah, just overtake him on the track and do your job, mate. You know what to do. Keeping it clean and respectful, that's what it's all about. And yeah, sorry randomness, but it's not RPM Spritzy momentarily on the commentary, it's only RPM always Rick. And let's go to Jono for a moment, as he is really close towards Boris, but not making a move stick. Boris making a really dangerous line there though. And we're switching back to Westy now, as he has the DRS. Let's see if he can close in once again. And Wesley just being smart and keeps it far away for the moment, and not making a move until he knows for sure he can stick it. Cosmo getting another penalty though. Let's watch the penalties for a moment. Oh, Cosmo only had one penalty, so he's looking good so far. And the rest of it didn't change, so looking good. It's all coming down towards the final few laps of this race. No close gaps so far. Only between teammates here. Jono and Boris having a small little battle between each other, which is of course always nice to see. And yeah, so far it's getting a bit more spacey on the grid. A lot of drivers having some clean free air. Barker keeping it really close towards Brian though. 1.3 seconds, but the tire different. Yeah, well, Barker's on 17 lap soft tires. And Brian is on 17 lap medium tires, and the tire, yeah, we will definitely see some backing out now from Barker, as he doesn't want to make tires too much overheated and doesn't want to wear them out too much. Of course, it's a big risk. As Boris and Jono still have their own battle of their own. Just a small battle though. Boris joining him, closing in a bit. And Jono just driving, cruising, chilling on P5 for the moment. Knowing he will lose the position, of course. Yeah, I'm not gonna read that one up, Spritzy. I'm not gonna read that one up. So far for RPM, the first league versus league race ended really well. As the winner of tonight's race crosses the line now, it's RPM Colin on P1. Then we got Paulie Orange, with really clean and well done race from him on P2. Brian coming over the line as P3, but he will lose the position towards RPM Barker because of a penalty, so he will take P4. Jono coming over the line as P6 as Boris takes his position because of a penalty. Boris on P5, Luke on P7. Then we've got Josh Stead on P8. crossing the line right now. Deck just behind there on P9. Cosmo on P10. Crossing the line right now. Fruitgiver coming up towards the racing finishing line as well. Joining P11. Jeffrey, yeah, P12. And Westy, unfortunately for him, he joined on P13. But that would definitely be in a P12 if it went different. Driver of the day, RPM Bakker with his baby face on F1. Taking the driver of the day, getting the most positions done. There he comes, a winner of tonight's race, RPM Colin, with his amazing outfit. Look at that, you can just see right through him. It's all helping the aerodynamic of the car, the weight of the car. He's just, yeah, that's all helping his speed. And yeah, very glad to see two RPM boys on the podium. Paulie Orange did a really good job getting one of the FFR cars close over the line and joining on him on P2. So here we got it, the lineup for tonight's race. Colin 1, Paulie Orange on P2 and Bakker on P3. Gonna scroll down a bit as we got 5 DNFs, all FFR cars. We got Sky Ripper, Sprixt, Hungary, Yexi, and Yexel, sorry, and Kazarus, who didn't finish the race here tonight. I want to thank you all for watching the race here tonight, as this was the first League versus League race for RPM and a clear victory here as well for the drivers who are in red. If you want to see more of this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and we're definitely gonna do more League versus League races against hopefully a bit more competitive. Maybe some of the guys in here were Paulie Orange definitely had some good decent pace, and that showed as well. Yeah, so RPM will be looking for new rivals on the grid, and definitely will be showing a League versus League race anytime soon again. I want to thank you all for watching once again, and hopefully see you all for the last round this week in RPM Season 2 on Belgium Low Gear Division, kicking it off this Tuesday as first gear, and then we're gonna see the championship decided as well. Have a great evening everyone, and hopefully see you this week. Bye bye.